This video was originally made for a school project, but after I was done, I decided to upload it here. It goes without saying how bad the coronavirus has gotten. In the US alone, new cases rise by the tens of thousands every day. We as a population must do our part to slow the spread. If we come together and take the right precautions, fate will have to get a little bit more creative to end us all. All over the world, people are beginning to practice social distancing, in which they basically do all the things they used to make fun of that kid in the back of the classroom for doing. Hundreds of thousands will have to do what they can to stay inside as much as possible. But how can one do that without losing their minds? Short answer, this is a new game of survival of the fittest, where only those with the most resilient minds will be populating the next generation. Long answer, here are a few ways to enjoy yourself in this perilous time, without having to risk the health and lives of yourself and those around you. Number 1. Do an extracurricular project. You might have thought I meant some kind of after-school activity, but what I really mean is something that doesn't have to do with school. Cause who's really doing school right now? While we may not be able to go to school and meet up with our clubs or whatever you normally do, there are some things you can do. For one thing, if you're an athlete, you can keep your body in shape for when schools actually do open again and the time for the next game approaches. If you're in guitar club, you can practice your guitar. If you're in healthy living club, you can still live healthy, etc. But you could also try picking up a new hobby. Maybe you've always wanted to learn to draw or write a good story or speak another language or something like that. A long-term project like that would be perfect to do during quarantine. Number 2, make a log. The world only goes through a true pandemic once every century or so. Whether you like it or not, stories about the coronavirus will certainly end up in the history books. Why not start a journal chronicling your days through the virus? Because who knows, maybe someday you'll tell the future generation how the end of the world first began. Or maybe this horrific event is just so terrible that in order to cope, your brain will attempt to wipe its memories of the virus. A log of these days would be very useful for an easy dose of post-traumatic stress in the future. Number 3, researching the virus. The worst thing anyone can be during a crisis is ignorant. Some of your teachers have actually sent you videos and articles to watch and read about the coronavirus. Why not click on them? What you'll find could be very eye-opening and could even change your view on the virus as a whole. And of course, combating the spread of the virus by spreading awareness of the virus can only bring us closer to this whole thing blowing over. Number 4, watching the world burn. Just like I said, the worst thing you can be during a crisis is ignorant. However, that's pretty much what the world at large is right now. And you know what? If the world's not gonna use easily accessible resources to spread awareness they desperately need in times like these, then they probably deserve everything that's coming for them. In which case, what better thing is there to do than watch the foolish lowlifes writhe in the pit of despair they created for themselves? So why don't you sit down with a smirk or a laugh or even a stone-faced expression of pity as you watch your city devolve into a cesspool of degeneracy from above? If anyone looks up to you and pleads for help, spit on them and tell them no. Number 5, reading a book. Okay, so yeah, books can be boring, but let's face it, if you're looking on your high school's website for what to do during quarantine, then chances are you're pretty desperate. If you don't have any interesting books at home, then digital books are a really good alternative, seeing as they're often much cheaper or even flat out free. If you find yourself a good book, you'll entirely forget that you were just staring at words and will practically start vividly hallucinating entire worlds and people that may not exist. Or you could learn things that you would have never learned in school, or maybe you'll learn something that you would have learned in school if you were just paying attention. By reading some good books, your mind will not only be enriched, but you'll also become a well-rounded individual as a result. Number 6, give up. Lie down and rot. Nobody actually wants to say it, but this could really be it for humanity. It might really just be over. Why not get a head start on everybody else and just lie down in your bed for the rest of eternity? It's not like there's any point anymore. Society's only running because we don't know how to make it not run. But soon enough, it'll forcibly just stop. By participating in this system, this machine with no off switch, you're only prolonging the inevitable future. The one in which the last body drops, the last song is played, the last work of art is completed, the last fight is fought, and the last word is said. Number 7. Gaming. There's nothing like sitting down and enjoying yourself a good game. No, really, there is nothing like it. Gaming is a unique experience that is different from just watching a movie or reading a book. In a book or a movie, you get to immerse yourself in a whole new world, but a game takes it to a whole nother level by letting you be in control of the action. From the hot-blooded intensity of fighters like Mortal Kombat and Dragon Ball games, to shooters like Halo and Battlefield, to the relaxing and delightful freedom of sandboxes like Minecraft and Animal Crossing, to the brain-bending challenges of puzzle games like Tetris and 2048, there really is something out there for everybody. Number 8. Watch One Piece. You have no excuse. I'm not asking anymore. You will watch One Piece. And if you commit yourself, you'll be done before the end of quarantine. If you want to get through it really quick and you're a good reader, there is the manga version, which is paced better and doesn't have filler, animation errors, or other such things. Jokes aside, One Piece is pretty much the perfect anime and manga for an occasion like this. Even if you're not a fan of anime and manga, you might still enjoy One Piece's aspects of childlike wonder and grand sense of adventure, as well as the author Eiichiro Oda's insane ability to balance that with the very mature themes such as separation between the commoners and the elite, slavery, morality, theses on when cultural practices should be abandoned, what makes a person evil, and how far a person should go for love. It's also one of those series that gives you hope and motivation that humanity will get through any struggle you throw at it, which is a very relevant message given our current circumstances. It has pretty much something for everyone, and you can take your time, go at your own pace, and you won't have to worry about running out of content for a good long time.